my name is Easy, and welcome to another episode of Easy Does It, where we react and review YouTube channels and sometimes do daily or gaming vlogs. Now, this week we're going to take a look at another list channel. This channel is called GenXHorror. I am Gen X, so I'm probably going to know quite a few of these. I haven't watched this one yet, so we're going to check out his latest. He just goes over, basically he says he goes over horror movies from the 70s and 80s and does lists. He's been on since December of 24. He's from the US, and he's got 1.3 subscribers, so that's okay. It's a small channel apparently, but hopefully he grows. I wish him the best of luck. Let's check out the top 20 slasher horror films from the 70s and 80s that he's ranked, and we'll see if we agree with him or not. I may fast forward a couple times in this just to save some time, just to let you know. Alright, so let's get started.
Welcome to the bloodiest countdown of the decades. We're ranking the top 20 slasher films from horror's golden age, starting from the it's fine, and working our way up to the absolute legends that still make you check your closets at night. We're looking at the ultimate 70s and 80s slashers, from decent to absolutely essential.
I recognize some of them already.
Now try and survive Christmas. Coming in at number 20, Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1984.
That's one of my favorites right there.
Story of Christmas trauma.
I like that one.
Seriously unhinged holiday gift giving involving axes and really.
I actually did a review on all of them. There's like 5 of them.
Than the actual movie, but hey, at least it's not boring. Sure, the budget was
you can
smaller
check
than
those out on my
at
other channel.
$750K, but it managed to slay its way to 2.5.
Link is in the
modern audiences on Letterboxd.
What about
solid,
section?
3 out of 5, which honestly feels about right for a movie whose biggest claim to fame was pissing off the MPAA. Every one of these will be rated. I'll leave the criteria for rating.
Yeah, it became pretty much famous
because I'm gonna give it a 5.9 out of 10. It's still
that movie pissed off a bunch of parents or whatever.
They were warned.
They tried to get it banned.
At least tell me where you're going, so that when you don't come back, I'll know how to fill out the report.
This one I haven't
Just
seen.
Before Dawn, coming in at 19.
I'm not
This
a
underrated
huge
gem
slasher
solid
fan.
suspense and features one of the stronger
You
final
know?
girls of the era.
I don't
Though she's
mind
competing against a
watching
really
one every
low
now
bar,
and
let's
then.
be honest.
But
it's low
I've never
budget,
been in a
around 1
slasher
million,
film.
is not exactly
not
setting
my
box
thing.
office records, but Letterboxd users appreciate its craftsmanship
But
with a respectable 3.2.
I've been told this is a
It's
pretty
like
decent
Deliverance, but
movie
with
for
more stabbing
a
and less
B-rated
banjo.
slasher film.
The survival horror elements actually work pretty well when the
So,
movie isn't busy being.
I don't know.
an
I
80s
haven't
slasher.
seen this one, so I
Final
can't.
rating,
I can't tell him
5.9
if
out of
he's
10.
right
This
about
one's worth
this one.
watching.
Is this
Now
one
we're
is
at prom
no
night,
prom
19.
night?
Jamie Lee Curtis straps on her dancing shoes and her
I don't think I ever
scream
watched
for
this one
Canadian
either.
export that somehow thought combining John Travolta wannabes
I
with
just
brutal murder was
the
a
only
winning
movie
formula.
that I liked
Spoiler
her
alert,
in,
it kind of was. It earned about $15 million
honestly,
against
yeah,
a
as far as
$1.5
horror
million
goes,
budget.
is
The
Halloween.
disco soundtrack slaps harder than the Killer's
I've
weapon of
seen her in a
choice.
couple
Though
other horror
modern
films.
Letterboxd audiences
I'm
aren't
just
quite
not a
clearly
big fan
viewed
of Jamie
at a
Lee Curtis. I
2.8
didn't
out of
think
5.
she was
Still,
all that.
it's peak 80s cheese with
But
a
there's
side of
people who
confident
think
slashers,
she's all
and
that in a
sometimes
bag of
it's
chips,
exactly what you
and
need.
she's not.
Final rating a 6
I
out of
mean,
10.
them last
This one's
Halloween
worth watching.
movies that they did recently, just
I've been at sleepaway camp
she was terrible.
for almost 3 weeks, and I'm getting very
I
scared.
think this is
This is
Sleepaway
a fake.
Camp.
Sleepaway Camp, 1983.
So I agree with him
Angela's
on this
quiet
one.
demeanor hides secrets that make her
This is
bunk
one of the
mates'
better
diary
ones.
entries look like children's books.
Now,
This low-budget wonder turned 300.
I haven't done the other two. I've done this one as a review on my other channel because it has a wicked twist
The
in the
ending is
ending.
so bonkers it became a legendary
Surprise
movie for
ending
fans.
that
We're talking,
it shocked
what the
everybody. And
actual hell did I
that's
just
the
watch?
only
Levels
reason
of
everybody
jaw.
knows
Letterboxd
this
throws
fucking
one at
movie is
3.3
because
out
that
of 5.
shocking
Honestly,
surprise
that
ending.
twist alone is worth
Yeah,
the price of admission.
there you go.
Camp Crystal Lake wishes it
But
had such personality. Final rating
there's
for me,
two
6.1
others,
out of 10.
and
Another
I haven't
definitely
watched
worth
them.
watching.
I need to watch them and review them for my other channel.
Pray, you are not invited.
Happy birthday
Okay.
to me,
Oh,
1981.
that's another one I've
This
never
Canadian
watched.
mindbender serves up kills so bizarre
That's-
they make Rube
I'm telling you, I'm not
Goldberg's
in the
movies
slasher
We're
films.
talking Death by Shish
It's just-
Obscure, among other creative choices.
I've seen a few, but I just
budget
they're not.
that somehow
When it comes
justifies
to
some
horror,
truly
I
unhinged murder sequences,
prefer
it
more
earned around 10 million
supernatural
from
shit,
audiences.
not
We clearly
realistic
appreciate
crap.
the commitment to weirdness. The twist
I don't
ending
like-
is the kind of reveal that makes you go, wait,
Humans
what?
are
Followed
scarier
immediately by, okay, sure, why not?
than ghosts and
Letterboxd usually say
vampires
3.2
and
out of
werewolves
5,
and
which
shit.
seems fair for a movie that swings for the fences
So,
and occasionally connects with something
I'm
resembling
just-
a
I'm
coherent
not a-
plot. My final
And
rating,
some
another
motherfuckers
6.1 out of
that
10.
do
This
this
one
kind
again,
of shit,
super worth watching.
to write this crap, they're twisted sons of bitches.
If he wants
Just
you,
to be able to
you
think of
get
some of
to
the
it.
shit, the way they can kill people.
Coming in
It's
at number
just
15, one of my faves, The
fucked
Prowler,
up.
1981.
That's
Our
another one
World
I
War
haven't
II vet
seen.
turned psycho brings
Another
military
slasher
precision
film
to his
I've
killing
not
spree.
seen.
It's complete with combat gear and
I
weapons
know of
that would
this
make
film,
Harvard
but I've
proud.
never watched
Tom
it.
Savini's special effects work is the real star here.
Tom
Turning a
Savini
modest $1 million
Fucking
budget into some
legend.
genuinely wince-inducing gore
and
that
special
still holds up
effects,
today.
practical.
The box office
special
receipts are as
effects.
mysterious as our killer's identity, but cult status doesn't always require mainstream success. Letterboxd score,
I mean, he's a
3.1
literal-
out of 5, appreciating the craftsmanship.
If
even
you don't
the
know
story
who he
thinner than
is,
the plot armor on
and you're
most
a horror
victims.
fan,
It's basically
then, or
Full
you
Metal
claim to
Jacket
be a
meets
horror
Friday the
fan,
13th,
you don't
and
know
surprisingly,
who Tom
that works.
Savini is,
Final
you're,
rating for me, 6.1
you're not
out
a
of 10.
true horror
Another
fan.
one, it's a banger, it's worth watching.
I'm sorry, but you're not.
A legend
Everybody
of terror
knows that name.
isn't just a campfire story anymore.
1981's The Burning. You got
The
Cropsy's Revenge
Burning.
Tour is elevated by Tom Savini again, his spectacular effects at work, proving that sometimes the best revenge
I
is
don't
served
think
with
I've seen this
impressive
one either.
practical gore. The $1.5 million budget was well spent on making people squirm in their seats, even if the box office returns were
sure
about
it
as
was.
thin as Cropsy's remaining skin.
Yep, I've never
It's got
seen
that
this
perfect 80s summer camp vibe.
one. Boy, he's
before
going through some
everyone
B
finished dying
movies
horribly.
I've never seen.
Letterboxd users
Yeah,
appreciate the
but like I
craftsmanship
said, I'm
again
not
with
a
this
big
one at
slasher
3.2 out of
fan,
5.
so
And honestly,
it's not
any
surprising.
movie that makes you never want to go camping again deserves some respect. Plus, it features early appearances from future stars back when they
Dude,
were just happy
after
to not
Friday
be the first
13th
to
came
die.
out, there were so many of
6.3
them
out of 10 for this one.
camping killer videos. This is another one I haven't watched. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it. Terror Train. I recognized it as soon as I saw it.
Jamie Lee Curtis trades her babysitting
There you go,
duties for
Jamie
party
Lee
planning,
Curtis.
but apparently forgot to screen
Never
the
seen
guest
this
list for
one either.
homicidal maniacs seeking revenge for college pranks gone wrong. That's a lot. The claustrophobic train setting actually works brilliantly.
This
There's
is a
nowhere to
serial
run when you're
killer
hurtling through the Canadian
slasher
wilderness at 60
film.
miles an hour. With a $3.5
But it's more of a
million
criminal,
budget earning about
a
$8
crime
million.
thing.
It's not exactly Titanic numbers.
But who's
But at least
under
the
that
locomotive
mask?
actually stays on the tracks. Letterboxd users said 3 out of 5.
If it
which
wasn't
feels about
for
right
the
a
damn
solid slasher
kids.
that knows its limitations and works well within them. It's Murder on the Orient Express if Agatha Christie had a thing for hockey masks. Final rating for me.
Oh,
6.3
David
out of 10.
Copperfield's in
Super
that
decent.
too. Well, I understand.
Party. It's a slumber party for old time's sake.
Now, I
Be
have
on the
seen
lookout
this
for
one,
an uninvited
and I have done a
guest.
review on it on my other
12
channel.
Slumber Party Massacre from '82. This feminist-leaning slasher plays with genre conventions. that
This movie
still
was
deliver
done,
goods.
written, and
It's
directed
like
by a
having cake and
woman,
eating it too, except the cake is made of social
but it
commentary and the
had
frosting is
venomous
what's made of
tropes
blood.
in it.
The
You don't
$220,000
recognize
budget
them at
stretched
first
impressively to earn
until you
$3.6
really
million.
pay attention,
Proving that sometimes less
because
is more.
she was
Especially
making
when more
jokes
would just be more terrible dialogue.
about
Director Amy Holden
masculinity
Jones
and
brings a knowing
misogyny.
to the events that make the campy elements feel intentional rather
but
than
anyways,
accidental. Letterboxd audiences appreciate
was
that
okay.
balance for sure with a 3.1 out of 5.
It wasn't
And
that
honestly,
great.
any slasher that manages to be both genuinely scary and genuinely funny deserves props.
Now I haven't
I'm
seen
gonna
the
give
other
this a
two. There's
6.3
two more
out
of
10.
those.
Check this one out.
I need to
In order
watch
to be a
and review
member
them
of
for my
Alpha
other
Sigma
channel.
Rho,
Haven't
one
done
has
it
to do
yet.
what?
Stay in Garth Manor one night.
And why is this night so special?
Because 12 years ago, Raymond Garth murdered his family here and then committed suicide.
Oh, Hell Night.
Man, Hell Night.
Yeah, I just
1981
watched
coming in at
that
number
and
11.
reviewed it
Linda
on my other
Blair
channel.
trades her demon possession for gothic mansion possession. And honestly, it's a lateral move at
Linda
best.
Blair.
The atmosphere is thick enough to cut with a knife, which
The
incidentally
Exorcist
is exactly
girl
what our deformed killer prefers to use.
Is in that.
With a
Yeah, she
1.5
stars in it.
million
And
budget
she's,
earning a modest
I don't know.
2.3 million.
I didn't
It's
think
clear audiences
she
weren't
was all
exactly
that
lining
great
up
in
around
it,
the block,
to
but
be honest.
sometimes cult classics grow
They
slowly.
just,
The mansion setting gives it a classic
it
horror
wasn't
movie
really
feel that's
that
more
great of a
hammer
movie, to
horror
be
than
honest.
teenager disposal.
it was okay.
Letterboxd said, hey, 3.1 out of 5.
But
And while
I
it's not
found it kind of
revolutionary,
boring.
It's got enough gothic charm to make you forget you're watching another teens trapped in a scary place.
Yeah,
I'm
teens
gonna
trapped
give this
in
one
a
as well
house.
a 6.3 out of 10. Definitely check this one out.
With a... mutated killer.
This time of year. How many times is he gonna tell us?
Now this is Bloody Valentine.
I love fairy tales.
And I've heard this movie
Man,
mentioned
1981
100
was
times.
churning
I've
out the
never
hits.
seen
My
it.
Bloody Valentine.
I
The
need
Canadian
to
setting
watch
adds
it
that
and
extra
review it
layer
for my
of
other
upgrades.
channel.
Now we're trapped in the middle of
I
nowhere
just
with a lunatic.
never
Which is
bothered.
basically the slasher movie
Again,
equivalent
it's
of
a
extra cheese on
slasher
your
film,
pizza.
that's why.
The $2.3 million budget earned about $5.7 million.
Now, there
Which
is a
exactly
remake
roses
of
are red,
this.
violets are blue. We're swimming in
This
cash.
is
How
the
about
old
you?
version.
Territory, but
But
it's
there is a
respectable.
newer
The
remake
mining
of
town
it.
atmosphere is
I
genuinely
think they
creepy,
did a
and the kills are
remake in
inventive
the
enough to
early
make you wince.
2000s.
Letterboxd said 3.3 out of 5,
I don't know
which was
when
appreciated
the
in the unique
remake
setting,
was.
even if the story hits familiar
Eh.
beats. It's like Friday the 13th went underground and brought better production value.
If you say so.
6.6 out of 10 for this one.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Man, out of your mind.
Gang, this is a classic, 1980s Maniac. This gritty
That's-
character study
that's another
masquerading
one
as
I
a
haven't
slasher is
seen.
about as comfortable as a root canal, but sometimes that's exactly
But
what
I've
horror
heard
needs
of.
to be effective. The $350,000 budget earning around $10 million proves that audiences have an appetite for psychological
I mean,
discomfort,
He
even
just
if
goes
they won't
around
admit it at dinner
killing
parties.
uh,
This is raw,
whores,
it's
I
unflinching,
think.
and makes you feel like you need to shower afterwards.
Prostitutes.
The holy trinity of effective horror filmmaking.
I can't remember
Letterboxd users
exactly
rated a
what it's
3.3 out of
about.
5, which seems about right to
Why
low.
he's
For a
killing. I
movie
know
that's
he's...
more interested in making you
he's going around
uncomfortable than
killing
making you
people. I
comfortable with
think
being scared.
I think he
It's
just
like
goes
Taxi
around
Driver
killing...
if Travis Bickle had even more worse hobbies. I'm going to
I
give this
don't
a
know.
6.7 out of 10. This is definitely worth checking out. Maniac's a classic.
If you say
Five for
so.
5 years, and that's the way we want to keep it. His mother beheaded, and he took his revenge.
Rounding right back to 1981 again, Friday the
Friday
13th,
13th.
Part 2. This sequel
This
solidifies
is the
everything
third
we
one,
love
I
about
think.
the franchise. Creative kills, questionable decision-making by counselors, and a killer who apparently has
They
nothing
tried to
better
do
do
this in
than work around the
3D.
same campground for decades.
I mean,
The
like,
$1.25
they did
million
this
budget earned
where they shot a harpoon and it
$21.7
looked like it was
million,
going
proving
right
that
in your
audiences were
eye
ready
or
to make
some
this
shit.
a regular summer
It was
tradition.
kind of crazy.
Jason's burlap sack look is honestly more terrifying than his later hockey mask phase. There's something
Really?
deeply unsettling about homemade
Oh,
serial
this is
killer
2?
fashion.
I thought
Letterboxd
it
says
might be
3.1
3,
out
but
of 5, which
he
seems
says
super
2.
harsh considering this is where the franchise found its footing. It's
Okay.
comfort food for horror fans, assuming you're
Yeah, this
comfortably
is the
involved
sequel. This
with
isn't...
shadows.
This isn't the
6.7
third
out
one.
of 10 for me. Highly recommend.
I actually like the
Guys,
The
we are
burly
staying around
sack
the early 80s for this whole list, man.
hood
Friday the
instead of
13th,
the
1980.
hockey mask.
Camp Crystal Lake were the only thing
What?
getting lit
And
around
now
the
he puts
campfire
the
by
original on
counselors
there?
themselves.
What the...
This derivative little gem
Dude.
took a $550,000 budget
Okay.
and turned it into $39.7
You
million.
say so.
Sure, it's basically Halloween with worse acting and more creative death scenes, but sometimes imitation
Kevin
is the
Bacon was
sincerest
in
form
that.
of making
That was
serious
who
bad
that was.
The reveal of who's actually doing
That's
the killing
before
is
he was a
genuinely
star.
surprising. Mainly because you spend most of the movie assuming it's someone that's competent. Letterboxd users say 3.2 out of 5, which again seems unfair.
Jason wasn't
considering
the
this
killer
launched
in
a
this.
franchise that's
It
still
was his
shambling along decades
mama.
later. It's like the McDonald's of slasher films. This is not gourmet, but somehow exactly what you want at 2 a.m. 7.1 out of 10 for this one.
Friday the 13th.
I haven't done any of those for my other channel, reviews for my other
Hey
channel.
70s, The Hills
That's
Have
a
Eyes,
long-ass
1977.
franchise.
This gritty survival horror pits suburban normalcy against primal savagery.
No, I've
And
done
spoiler
these.
alert, the suburbanites don't have much going on
There's
for them
like
in a knife fight. The
3 of them.
230 grand budget somehow stretched to earn around 25
And I've done all
million,
3 of them
which
for
is the
my
kind
other
of return
channel.
on investment that makes studio executives weep with joy. It's social
That
commentary
bald-headed
wrapped in
guy,
visceral
you
horror,
instantly
like a
recognize
philosophy
him
lecture delivered with a sledgehammer.
in any film.
Letterboxd said, "Hey,
Like,
3.4
you're like,
out of 5.
oh, it's that
Appreciating
guy
Craven's
again.
blend of intelligence
I can't
and
remember
brutality.
his name, but
It's
he's
basically Little House on the Prairie meets
pretty
Mad
well
Max.
known
And
as
surprisingly,
one of the
that combination works
baddies
far
or
better than it has any
henchmen
right
in
to.
just about every
I'm hitting
movie.
this with a 7.
He's played
out of
other
10.
parts
Love
where
it.
he's not the bad guy.
A high school girl's been murdered. Miss
John
Harrison's daughter is
Saxon.
missing. And now at the house where she lives, the other girls are getting obscene phone
Huge
calls.
B
Man, we're
movie
staying in
actor.
this second. Black Christmas, 1974.
Black Christmas.
This proto-slasher is basically
Yeah, I
the horror
did this
movie
one. I
equivalent
did watch
of
this
receiving a
one.
prank call from hell.
It's one of the
Except
first
callers in your
movies
house
where you
had
see
serious issues with holiday cheer. Bob
most
Clark's
of the film
atmospheric
from the
thriller laid the groundwork for everything Halloween would be perfect
the serial
for
killer's
4 years later,
perspective.
proving that sometimes
you're
being
looking through
first
his
is almost
eyes.
as good as being best.
It's
The
one of the first ones to do
$620,000
it.
budget earned
One of the
around
very
$4 million,
first
which
slasher
isn't exactly
films,
deck
too.
the halls with dollar bills territory, but cult classics
That
don't
took
always
off.
need blockbuster numbers.
You know, that made it
Letterboxd
big.
said 3.6 out of 5, recognizing its historical importance, even if it doesn't quite reach the heights of its more famous descendants. It's
Yeah.
like the horror genre's beta test. It's functional, it's influential,
it's
and slightly rough.
kind
around
of
the edges.
essential to watch
I'm gonna hit
that
it with
one,
a 7.6
just because
out
it's
of
one of
10.
the
Big
very,
recommend.
very first slasher films, if you're in the
You
slasher
shouldn't have
film.
buried me.
Well, everybody
I'm not
knows.
dead.
See,
Number 4 is
I've
Nightmare
seen
on Elm
all
Street
those,
3,
like,
Dream Warriors
100
from
times.
1987. This sequel brings Nancy
I love the
Thompson face
Freddy,
to face with Freddy
Nightmare
one
on
more
Elm
time,
Street
proving that
movies.
some people just
Wes
can't let
Craven's.
sleeping psychopaths lie.
but
The
I don't really
$4.5
consider.
million budget
I
earned a
didn't
whopping
consider them slasher
$44.8
films.
million, which
Those
is the
are more
kind of numbers that make
supernatural
studio
horror,
executives dream sweet
which is
dreams
more
about
what I'm
franchise
into.
potential.
I don't.
It's got
I'm not a
genuine
big fan
emotional
of the
depth
slasher
beneath
stuff.
the creative kills, like finding a heartfelt letter inside a box of razor blades. Letterboxd users rated a 3.5 out of 5, which seems about right for a sequel that actually improves on its predecessors instead of just
The Dream
cashing in.
Warriors is the
It's
best
proof that
one out of
sometimes
the
a third
entire
time really is the
series.
charm, especially when the charm involves weaponized imagination. 7.8 out of 10 for me, my man.
Nah,
He was locked in a room with a girl who went in alive and
let's
came
be
out in a
honest.
rubber bag.
Out of the whole franchise, that was the best
1984's
one.
A Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger's razor glove
Yeah,
and
the
seriously
first one was
problematic relationship with
I thought the
Fire's
first one
bedtime
was
into
just
the stuff of
okay.
legends.
I didn't think it was
Specifically
all
the
that
kind of legends
great.
that make you invest heavily in caffeine stocks. Wes Craven's supernatural masterpiece took a $1.8 million budget and slashed its way to $25.5
But like I said,
million.
I did this
Proving that
whole
audiences were
franchise
ready
on my
for their
other
horror
channel.
with a side of surreal
You can go check
creativity.
it out.
It's like Inception, but with
I
more
rated
child
every
murder
single
and
one of these
decidedly
movies.
worse fashion choices.
All the way up to
Letterboxd
Freddy
said,
versus
hey, I'm going to give
Jason.
this a 3.8 out of 5, which feels appropriate for a film that revolutionized an entire genre. Sweet Dreams are definitely not made of this, but somehow that makes it absolutely perfect. I'm hitting this with an 8.3 out of 10. This is an essential watch. Ooh, I feel that lump in my chest. We are at number 2. We're back in the 70s, the Texas Chainsaw
You
Massacre.
put Texas
Ugh.
Chainsaw
Joe
Massacre
Cooper's
at number
raw,
2.
unfiltered nightmare feels less like a movie and more like footage someone found in an evidence locker marked.
I know
"Do
I've
not
seen
open."
this movie,
Baby,
but
we
it
did.
was years
The
ago.
budget was somewhere between 80 grand and 140.
I need to
which
do
turned it
the
absolutely
entire
insane.
franchise for
30.9,
my
we're gonna call it 40 million. The kind of
other
return that makes
channel. I
loud
just
winners
haven't
feel
reviewed them
wildly
yet.
inaccurate. Leatherface and his delightful
Again,
relatives
slasher movies
redefined
are
what
not
horror could be,
my
trading
type of
supernatural
horror
scares
movies.
for the much more terrifying reality that some people are just really, really awful.
A lot of people put this
Letterboxd
at
just rated a
a
3.8 out of
huge
5.
movie because
And
it's
honestly, any movie that still makes you
partially
check your rearview mirror
based on a
decades later
true
deserves that
story.
respect, if not more. It's like the Waltons, if the Waltons were absolutely terrifying. And some would say they were. Final rating
I mean,
for me,
it's based off a
8.4 out of 10,
serial killer
essential viewing for horror
who
fans.
wore face masks,
I watched
human
him
face
for
masks.
15
But
years, humanly patient, waiting for some secret, silent
and of course, he
alarm
puts
to
Halloween
trigger
at
him
number
off.
1.
Death has come to your little town.
Oh, take a breath. We're at number 1. This is 1978. This is Halloween. John
No
Carpenter's
shit.
masterpiece took a laughably small $325,000 and carved it into a $47 million worldwide. The kind of financial success that makes studio executives weep tears of pure joy.
Halloween was a good
on how to be
slasher
a proper
film.
slasher villain. Silent, relentless,
Again, these
and with
are.
the kind of work ethic
This is
that
a
puts most
franchise I
serial
haven't
killers
done
to
yet.
shame.
The more popular
Letterboxd
ones I
reviews
haven't
are
done.
losers, and they rated it
For my
3.9
other
out
channel.
of 5, which feels criminal
There's
for the movie that
a lot
birthed
of
an
these.
entire genre.
But
It's not just a
honestly,
horror
after
movie,
you
guys.
get to
It's
number
the horror
5,
movie that taught
you should
every
just
other
stop.
horror movie how to properly
because everything
terrify
after that
audiences.
pretty much sucks.
Final rating for me,
All the other
I'm gonna give it
sequels
9.3
after that,
out of 10.
especially
This
the
is
Rob
wildly
Zombie remakes.
essential
Oh my
viewing.
god. Those
That's my
things
top
were
20
just
list of slashers from the
atrocious.
70s
That
and
dude
80s.
cannot
It
make
is
a damn
definitive.
good
You
horror
cannot
flick.
argue with this. But
I can't
like, if you were
stand
going
any
to
of
argue
his
with this,
films.
what did I miss? Throw it in the comments.
He makes good
what
music.
Did I absolutely get wrong?
But his films
This is
suck.
subjective, not to me, but
Suck
to the rest of
ass.
society. Likely it is. From
Never
decent
watched the
holiday-themed mayhem to
Rob
absolute
Zombie
genre-defining
or,
masterpieces,
Halloween.
these
They
films
suck.
carve their way into horror
They're
history,
terrible.
one creative kill at a time. Now, if you'll all excuse me, I need to go check on my door.
Like I said, after number 5, don't watch anymore. I think number 5's like The Curse of Michael Myers or some shit. After that, they completely changed everything. Buster Rhymes came in there and did it, and it fucked everything up. They just went off the rails, and they were shit after that. So, anyways, that is GenXHorror. I don't agree with a few of his on his list. Some of them are okay. Some of them, he listed a few of them I have not seen yet. So I can't definitely say, hey, these are the best slasher films, blah, 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 blah. I could think of some other horror flicks that are kind of like slashers or something that's way better. But anyways, that's all I have for you this week. Thank you for watching, tuning in, and watching with me. Check him out if you want. He's okay. Nothing wrong with it. It's just his opinion. He's entitled to have his opinion. But so until next time, we'll catch you on the next one.